Hey everyone, welcome back. I wanted to have a quick chat with you all about a funny thing that I saw happening this past week, and the not so fun conclusion that I ended up drawing from that funny thing. The thing I'm referring to, of course, is Bud Light's announcement that they have a trans spokesperson, and conservatives' inevitable outrage, declarations that they will never drink Bud Light again, and that they will be switching over to Coors Light, which is amusing to me because Coors Light has been supporting the LGBT community since, I believe, the 70s. And this isn't the first time that this kind of performative outrage against the rainbow has happened this year. There was a time where a state congressman, I forget the state, attacked a fourth grader for putting a rainbow on a library sign, calling it gay propaganda, or my absolute favorite, which is when a whole bunch of people attacked the band Pink Floyd for posting the album artwork for their Dark Side of the Moon album for its 50th anniversary, which, if you don't know, has a rainbow in it, and a lot of people went off on Pink Floyd for being pro-LGBTQ, despite the fact that the Pride movement wouldn't adopt the rainbow flag for another 5 years after the debut of Dark Side of the Moon. And there are plenty of other examples of conservatives just seeing a rainbow and going, "Oh my god, it's the gays, it's the LGBTQ, whatever, I'm scared, go away." And, it's funny, objectively, because they're jumping at shadows, or the way I was originally going to put it in this video, tilting at windmills, to quote Don Quixote, which is one of my favorite books. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is actually very, very serious. The reason that this is so serious is that within conservative media ecosystems, people are being told that anyone associated with the rainbow is a threat to them, to their children, to their communities, to their very way of life, with some people going so far as to say that anyone associated with the rainbow is inherently evil and that they need to be eradicated. And they're using the rainbow as a way to identify individuals and target them for discrimination, hatred, and even violence. A study from December 2022 out of UCLA showed that LGBTQ individuals were 9 times more likely to be the victim of a violent hate crime as opposed to their non-LGBTQ counterparts. And as we see both an increase in violence and an increasing number of laws passing through state legislatures specifically targeting LGBTQ individuals, it reminds me of another time in history when this community was targeted for persecution. And while I don't like making this comparison ever, I am of course referring to Nazi Germany. Under the Nazi regime, all aspects of the LGBTQ lifestyle were criminalized, and members of the community were forced to identify themselves using various symbols, the most prolific of which was the pink triangle associated with homosexual and transgender men. And of course, they suffered greatly under the Nazi regime, losing all of their rights and being sent off to the concentration camps to work and die alongside all of the other groups targeted for Nazi persecution. And you can imagine how they might have tried to identify transgender and homosexual individuals. Things like genital inspections or demanding menstrual cycle records. The same things that are being argued and debated and even passed into law in some American states right now. And that's frankly terrifying to me. Now, I have never and will never experience this discrimination as I am a straight, cisgendered man. However, I have many friends who are members of the LGBTQ community, and as an ally, I feel that it is incredibly important for us to stand with them as they defend their basic human rights and their fundamental ability to participate in public life. As we see more and more restrictive laws being proposed at the state level, and national level politicians demonizing this group of people for no reason other than their own political gain, it reminds me of a poem by German theologian Martin Niemöller. And some of you might have a guess as to what it is, but I'm going to go ahead and read it for you all. First they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I did not speak out, because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, and I did not speak out, because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Make no mistake, there are people in this country who are coming for the basic rights of anyone under the rainbow flag. And as Americans, if they come for any one of us, they come for all of us. A threat to the rights of any group, any minority, any person is a threat to all of our rights. So now is the time to speak. Because if we allow them to come for the LGBTQ community and we say nothing, we may not get the chance to speak again. Think about it.